Hello, I'm Toodler507, and this is my Undertale Genocide speedrun submission for SGDQ 2018. As you can see, I'm running on a later version in Japanese. This roughly saves a minute and a half over the older versions of the game, mostly from the Japanese having less characters for unskippable text. So without further ado, let's get started. Timing starts when I confirm the name selection there. So contrary to the run that was done a year and a half ago, which was a true pacifist run, I'll be attempting to kill everything in this run to achieve the alternate ending. What that requires out of me is to basically kill every encounter in each area plus the final boss. And because of that, I'm gonna have to actually grind in places and rely on RNG. It's definitely the most RNG intensive run we have. Second being neutral glitchless, which is only in a aborted general run. So I'm quickly scrolling through the text because Enter and Z will advance the text box to the next one, while Shift and X they advance the text to the end of the text box. So in older versions, people would mash as going like ZX Enter Shift or XZ Shift Enter. We call that piano mashing. But since in the newer versions, Enter and Z are treated as the same input, and X and Shift are treated as the same input. So we can't really mash like that reliably without our inputs getting dropped. So how I'm mashing is when I have to move in and out of text boxes, I'll be mashing with Enter and Shift solely with 2 fingers. When I don't have to move or I have time to react, I'll be controller mashing, which I have a GameCube controller. So this is where the RNG starts. In the ruins, we need a total of 20 encounters to kill. While in this first 2 rooms here, I'll be going back and forth. I'm going to be killing 12 encounters. The 2 encounters we can get, which you've already seen, are the Froggets and the Whimsons. Preferably, I want Whimsons. Whimsons actually, you can mash the hit, and it'll instantly kill them. While Froggets will always take 2 hits to kill. The chances of getting either is just 50-50. So, after I attack the Froggets, a text box will appear, and if I get that text box, which is this one, there's a 41% chance there's a 41% chance of getting 50% chance of getting that text box, and a 41% chance that it'll give a attack that is unskippable. Which is that attack right there. It's a leaping frog attack. That was our 8th kill. Yeah. So far the RNG has been pretty ruthless. So that in this room, I'll be walking to the end to get my 12th kill. The reason I am going back and forth between rooms is if you start to grind an encounter in a room after you've killed an encounter in that room, the time it takes to get the encounter on average is much longer. So transitioning rooms, most of the time, will get you encounters faster. Alright, so that was a horrible start. I'm interacting with this rock from the right because it'll push you and save walking. The encounters I can get in this room are a single mold small, double mold small, triple mold small, double frogget, and frogget whimsin. Frogget whimsins are the fastest encounters to kill, just because of whimsins being one-shots, while every other enemy is going to be a two-shot. I need 5 more. I'm at 15 kills total. The fastest RNG you can get here is 2 whimsin froggets, including the frog skips, followed by a triple mold small. The reason I am instinctively menuing to the second enemy is that I'm hoping it's a whimsin frogget, and a whimsin's always going to be the second enemy. So, automatically aiming for the second enemy will have you ready to one-shot the whimsin, if it is it. If not, you just do the attack you need. So I have 2 kills left. Never at any point do we want to have it where we only have 1 kill left when we're grinding. Because the time nearly exponentially increases as we kill more enemies. So I'd rather grind at 18 and flee from a single encounter than grind at 19. The reason we grind all those encounters in the beginning and not near the end here is so we don't have to do the Napstablook fight. The Napstablook fight takes a long time to kill him. He doesn't count towards your kill count, and he gives you -1 experience. In other words, he's just a big time waster. So we prefer to have all these text boxes near the end of the ruins than to have to fight him. We still have to do the puzzles in the ruins. The game hasn't really locked us in the Genocide yet. I want to say that RNG was a little bit below average. So new runners would normally go into that room and sleep so they can grab the butterscotch cinnamon pie. But I'm only going to be grabbing 1 safety item. if I can get away with this. I can't. Was testing out controller mashing there. Does not work out. So the game is slightly punishing us for choosing the evil or genocide route by making most of the bosses in this game just not worth fighting and one-shotting them. Now that Toriel's dead, I can talk a little bit about Murder Level. Murder Level is a flag in this game that is not really known or ever talked about in the run. So what Murder Level is, it's a flag that constantly checks if we're in Genocide. In the beginning, in the ruins, the Murder Level flags are pretty straightforward. The first one is kill 20 encounters, which we did. The next one is kill Toriel, which we did. So far the game still thinks we're in Genocide. The next one, starting in Snowden, is kill Snowdrake. Snowdrake is actually he's the first scripted encounter in Snowden. And there's a almost identical encounter to him called Chilldrake, which is supposedly his brother, and at that point there's an infinite amount of Chilldrakes. But we have to kill Snowdrake, or we abort Genocide. Besides that, killing all the dog mini-bosses and lesser dog are required for our murder level. And then killing 16 encounters in Snowden. So I'm going to equip the Tough Glove here, grind out the Snowdrake. The Tough Glove has a unique feature to it, where we actually have to mash Enter or Z to hit the enemy multiple times, and the faster you mash, the more damage you do. It's kind of hard to do with only one key, but it's not hard to kill things. So in this room we'll be getting a scripted snow cap, ice cap. And this is our first dog mini-boss. The dog mini-bosses actually do not count towards our kill count. But they are required for our murder level. I'm going to walk under the ice, because sliding on the ice does not increment our step count, and we want to get an encounter in this room, which will be Lesser Dog. So with Lesser Dog, I'm immediately throwing the stick, and then hitting him and mashing the attack. With Lesser Dog, it's going to take 2 hits regardless, and using the stick makes him a one-shot instead of having to do a decent shot first. It's not much faster, but it is faster. At this point, the game knows we're in Genocide, and it's going to start punishing us by not letting us complete the puzzles or interact with them. So, the spikes are already laid down for us, we don't need to hit the switch. I was very lucky. That was the exact health of that ice cap. So I'll be hitting Doggeressa first. This is the fast attack that they can give. They have 2 attacks. If I kill Dogami first, Doggeressa will go into a berserk mode. This is a slower attack. Her attack and defense goes up, and takes longer to kill her. But if I kill Doggeressa first, Dogami kind of just gives up, and he's a one-shot from there. That mini boss does not count towards our kill count, but required for murder level. Another puzzle we get to skip, and in this next room we get to skip another. Normally we would do a skip here, called Ice Puzzle Skip, but as you can see, we can just do a non-glitchy Ice Puzzle Skip here, because the puzzle's already done for us. Which will put us in our greater dog fight. It's our last dog mini-boss, who does not count towards our kill count. Takes at least 3 hits to kill, and has 2 attacks. One of them we can cancel and save 3 seconds each time. That attack is a sleeping dog attack. It's not the attack we wanted. Okay, we got bad RNG. So after this cutscene, we're going to be grinding the rest of the encounters out in Snowden. We've only killed 4 so far. Still have 12 more to kill. We have to exit and enter this room out first, because we cannot get an encounter with sands in the room. I'll be wall humping at the top, and then quickly coming down, so that I get the encounter next to the transition, and I can immediately exit and enter the area when I get an encounter. The only encounters we get here are double encounters and triple encounters. We want doubles early, followed by triples later. And I will never kill Jerry unless it's my last encounter. Jerry has 80 health and takes at least 8 hits to kill. Most of the time you're gonna get 9 hits. Because that's 8 hits at the maximum damage roll each time. That puts us at 9 kills. Still have 7 more. It's a 50-50 whether I'll end on a Jerry or not, and preferably I do not want to. Alright. Getting triple encounters from now would be the best situation we can get. 2 more triples, hopefully. The chance of getting either is a 50-50. Alright, now I'm hoping to get a triple here. If I don't, I have to get one more encounter. If I get a triple, I have to kill Jerry as well. Which is unfortunate, but it's much faster than grinding out another encounter. Alright. I have to get another encounter now. So this RNG was not good at all. The beginning of the Snowden grind, depending on what you get, only varies by, I want to say, 10 to 20 seconds, but at the end it varies the most. Hopefully I get a triple here so I do not have to kill Jerry. Right, looks like we're killing Jerry. Okay, that is the end of our Snowden grind. Definitely a below average Snowden as well, along with a below average Ruins. So this is another boss fight that's kind of punishing us, being a really easy one-shot. That is the end of Snowden. Our next murder level check isn't for a while. And Waterfall is definitely the part of the run has the most downtime in terms of walking and cutscenes. A lot of the encounters in this area are scripted as well. In terms of what we kill, there's not much. There's only a little bit of RNG at the end. For Waterfall itself, we need 18 total kills. Normally we get a cutscene with Papyrus here, but Papyrus is dead. Undyne will also be our first look into a different boss that's not punishing us in terms of being too easy, but it's actually quite the opposite. Undyne is definitely the hardest boss in this game in terms of difficulty and going fast. Undyne, the Undying, is the only boss that we fight that actually has speed tech to her too. Killing this first Aaron here, because whether I have this weapon or the next one, it's going to take 2 hits. I will get a scripted Washua here, then I'm going to go ahead and flee. we're gonna come up to our first Spears Chase segment. With these Spears Chase, this one in particular, where the spears appear as Undyne creates them, is random, but I can kind of manipulate them with my movement, so I can only stop briefly, maybe once or twice, to not get hit. Like right there. I manipulated those spears to go above me, so I didn't have to stopping it. In the later versions, it's actually a weird visual glitch where those spears won't even load. Another cutscene with Monster Kid here. So if this was a non-genocide based run, right here we would get the punch card from the Ice Cream Man. But if we go up into that room right there, the Ice Cream Man is gone. Like, monsters are evacuating. So instead, this version is a completely glitchless run. In the older version, there was a glitch that did save time. I'm gonna go ahead and grind an encounter here. It's the last encounter I'll kill with the glove. It's a scripted double mold small. And here I'm gonna grab the ballet shoes. Equip them. The ballet shoes now have the fastest animation of any weapon in the game, and will be used later for boss fights, just to get through them faster. Here I'll get another random encounter. That encounter was not the worst. That would be the second best encounter, because I can get a single Washua, single Aaron, Washua, Aaron, or double mold small. Double mold small being the best because I can one-shot both of them. With Washua, I can one-shot it as well. Here's our next mirror level check. We get to kill the Shiren. If we flee that Shiren on accident, we abort Genocide. And from here on, it's the long walk and spear chase before we fight our next monster. I have to be at the top of this room, so Monster Kid takes as little time as possible getting to me. I'm at the bottom of the room, it takes much longer. But, because of that one RNG in that room, what you do later in the grind kind of varies. Like, I may, in this room, if you hold up and down while holding right, you get a speed boost. But depending on what I get earlier, I may flee from another Aaron, because I want to risk getting a monster that's not a two-shot. Because it is faster to go ahead and flee the Aaron and hope for a faster kill later. And here's where we're starting our second Spears chase. Instead of the spears kind of shooting at us, they're gonna come up from the ground, as you see. I can manipulate these spears the same way by holding another direction as I'm going. So if I hold up while I'm holding right, all the spears will appear above me. Same thing with down. And that's the end of the second Spears chase. This next cutscene coming up is one of the bigger time saves with Japanese text. It's unskippable and very shortened because of it. After this, we're going to be kind of getting into the grind of Waterfall. So I am at 4 kills right now. I can get a visual glitch here. There it is. It's called Jesus Frisk. So if I walk off that board on a certain pixel, Frisk will appear to walk above the water. Doesn't save any time, just looks cool. So if we were in neutral or pacifist, this would be the mad dummy fight, but since we're killing everything, he's a glad dummy now, so we gotta kill him. The fight is very short compared to the mad dummy fight. Just instantly kill him. So in the next room, we're gonna get a scripted Temi, which is also a quick one-shot that we can mash. Followed by a mold small, molds big, which the molds big is disguised as a mold small. Then we'll get a scripted Washua Aaron. I am only gonna kill the Washua though. Hoping to get a faster kill later. Yeah, I'm at 10 kills right now. So this is a scripted Washua Moldsbig. You're very likely to one-hit those if you don't mess up one of your criticals. So from now on, the encounters will be random. I can get a Washua Aaron, Washua Moldsbig, or a single Temi. I preferably want only Washua Moldsbigs. He's 1 health away from dying. That was very unfortunate. Alright. I have 4 kills left. Still would prefer Washua Moldsbigs here. And hopefully this will be our last encounter. If I get a single Temi, I have to spare and try again. Go ahead and try again. Single Temi is definitely the worst encounter at 16. I do not want to be at 17, grinding. that is the end of our waterfall grind. So now we're off to lead into the Undying the Undying fight. I meant to controller mash there. So my RNG in waterfall was also below average. So far, the RNG in this run has been pretty bad. But Undying the Undying is kind of programmed similarly to the regular Undying fight. You get a neutral or pacifist. If at some point you were ever to get hit by an attack from Undying or Undying the Undying, her attacks will slow down, her turns will take longer, and the fight will take longer. So the fastest fight you can get is a no-hit. Another thing is getting enough critical hits on Undying will give you a chance to skip a turn near the end. And effectively kill her one turn faster. That requires a lot of criticals though. The critical hit window for the ballet shoes is right in the middle and roughly 2 frames for each one. So right here, I can sit in the middle of these spears and not get hit. That works on both the left and right side. That's not good, I got hit. Her attacks are now slower. I mixed up my turns. Some of her turns are always the same, like this one. Others are random in terms of where the spears end up. So if I got quick kill, the hit after this should kill her, but I definitely didn't get enough crits for that. Yeah, I almost got it. Another way to tell you got quick kill is to hear for the music loop. If the music loops and you didn't get it. Yeah, this was a really bad waterfall segment in terms of RNG. Not getting the quick kill only loses like 10 seconds. So now we're entering the last area where we have to grind. Combined Hotlands and Core, you need 40 kills in order to progress with Genocide. In Hotlands, we're going to be getting our first 5 encounters scripted that we kill, including the mini-bosses. After that, we'll get the last 35 encounters in Core. I'm going to grab this for safety. Those instant noodles are a full health refill. The final fight if I need it. One of the main differences with the older version is, in the older version, I could do a glitch right there called Early Pan, where I could overflow the item in the fridge and get the burnt pan earlier than intended. But with overflows are patched in this version. So I have to deal with getting the pan as intended. I'm not going to equip it right away because the ballet shoes will still kill things in Hotlands here. Surprised I missed that. And the ballet shoes still have the fastest attack animation. And also the ballet shoes, the critical hit points are true frame windows, while the pan is a 1 frame window. And the pan has 4 opportunities. Well, I cannot recall the last time I've done that. Pretty sure I have, though. So with being in Genocide, we're getting to skip a lot of the puzzles again. We don't have to do the cooking show. Here on the first floor, we don't have to do the news show and the bomb minigame on the second floor. And on the third floor, we don't have to watch the opera after fighting Muffet. And the Muffet fight is pretty easy. Just a average hit on her will kill her. Don't have to do the north-south puzzle here. We just go straight to the end. So right here is where Neutral, Glitchless, and Genocide diverge. Neutral Glitchless will buy the spider donut and give it to Muffet and spare her like that, because this death animation and cutscene for Muffet takes so long. And they can in Neutral Glitchless you can abort Genocide later on Metaton, but this is just much faster. So after that, I'm going to equip the pan, because I'm going to be using the pan from now on. I can use the shoes still for the first 7 encounters in Core, but it requires perfect hits for all of them to kill, while with the burnt pan, doesn't require near perfect. This is definitely the longest grind in the game right here. I'll be getting 28 encounters here total, the first 9 being scripted. It's not a good start. You only need a triple critical to kill an astigmatism. But after we get 28 encounters here, we'll get the last 7 on Warrior's Path, which is a little bit out of the way. But it is much faster than grinding out the last 7 because we do not have to wait to grind them. They're immediate encounters. Transitioning back and forth here for the same reason as before. Transitioning rooms and entering anew and grinding encounters is much faster than sticking in the room on average and grinding out the encounter without transitioning. The old strat here used to be to stay in the room and not transition out and grind for the first 18 or so, I think. Alright, those 2 encounters I had to quad crit to kill them, which I did. But we've determined that on average it's better to transition. So the encounters are random right now. I preferably want triple encounters, because the more triple encounters you get, the less encounters I have to get in total to grind. Besides that, there are 4 different double encounters I can get, and 2 single encounters. I do not want the single encounters. Single encounters are single Night Knights or single magics. I need a quad to kill them, and they're only 1 kill. All bad things. So far, this RNG has been pretty good. But even getting the double encounter with Magic and Night Knight isn't bad as long as you quad them. So the RNG in this section can be mitigated with good execution. For the most part, I'm purposely messing up the last hit on non-magic Night Knights, because it just ends the turn quicker, and it will kill him. Okay, we're at 23 now. After this one, I'm going to move on to the end of the room. Transitioning there is very bad. I did that in my last run too. resets my step count after walking across the whole bridge. The game lagged there and dropped my input. With the 1.05 version, the version is known to lag in certain spots, or just randomly even. It's really bad when it happens. This will be my last random encounter here. I'm only gonna kill one and flee, because I only need one left. Or I only have one left to kill. A difference with getting the gun and hat is with the hat you have a significantly lower flee chance. So if you get an extra encounter, you're better off killing it than trying to flee, which wastes a good amount of time. But the gun is the fastest weapon in this game, in this version. But only slightly faster, because we can't do early burnt pan anymore. As you can see, I'm not actually grinding for these encounters, immediately getting them as I walk across the bridge. This is our last triple encounter here. Alright, even though we didn't get any single encounters, that run was just a little, or this RNG was just a little bit below average, because getting triple encounters saves a lot of time. I'm gonna go ahead and equip the ballet shoes for the rest of the run. Mettaton being the final boss that we are kind of punished in one shot. No real fight to him. And that is the end of the grind. We only have to go through New Home to get the last bit of the story here. And then fight the final boss. In the neutral and pacifist runs, New Home, it gives us a story of the first human that fell down, Kara, and with Azrael, which is Asgore and Toriel's son, how he came to be and how he died. But when you're doing Genocide, there are no monsters to tell the story. Everyone's dead or gone away. So here we have Flowey giving us the story instead. And he doesn't really tell us the story, he kind of just tells us how we did a good job, how we're gonna rule, and then he becomes really scared of us. For glitched runs, you want to go right first, but for glitchless, which is Genocide, we definitely go left first. It saves a little bit of time. about 1 second of walking to go left first. So with here, I'm mainly using controller to walk into these cutscenes, because it gives me a little bit of time to start the movement again before the mashing. And another big difference between this and the regular story is this one is mashable, while the other one is unskippable text. Okay, save here. And we're off to fight Sans, final boss. Sans is basically an auto-scroller that you have to fight every turn to progress the fight. There's really no speed tech to him, besides just not healing. So a neat little trick you can do here is if your keyboard is anti-ghosting, you can just hold all 4 keys and never get hit by this attack. Same thing with this one, and one later where the bones coming from the ground are higher. Got a little bit of lag there. I'm gonna heal before the last attack. Okay, that's the end of the fight. So with Sans and the final dialogue with Kara is another place that saves a lot of time because of unskippable text in Japanese being a lot faster. So what we have to do now is just wait out for Sans to go to sleep. If we touch this left part of the wall at all, it'll reset his sleep cycle when he's trying to sleep. At the moment, it won't reset it. But it wastes a lot of time if you do hit it when he's trying to sleep. I think he's heading to sleep now. Yep. So not when his eyes are fully closed, but when the phase after that, when there's Z's coming up above his head. Do we know he's fully asleep? Gonna move the cursor over to fight. That's the end of the Sans fight. Just have to go to the final dialogue. All in all, that's about 20 seconds faster in Japanese with all that unskippable text. And then here in the final cutscene with Kara, it's about 40 seconds faster. It's ridiculous how much faster that text is in Japanese. That's the last of our skippable text. Asgore being another one-hit kill that we don't even as a player get to perform. It's the character themselves that do it. This dialogue with Flowey is a cutscene that we can't mash through. Only the final text box can we close. Okay, time is at the end of this dialogue when we choose to erase or do not erase the world. I'm submitting this on the Japanese version, but I can also run on the English version. I'm much more comfortable with the English, but Japanese is definitely the fastest. I would prefer running on the English. It's also more friendly for the audience to see it in English versus Japanese. And here it is. Oops, that's the end right there. Thank you. And that's it for the submission.